Well, it's time for another SRK film. That's right. I'm here to review the 2000, and it felt more like a 1990s Hindi cinema. Phir Bhi Dil Hai Hindustani. Still, the heart is Indian. This was a film that was recommended by, and she's recommended something else, Zainu Al-Sad. Zainu Al-Sad. She also recommended Duplicate, so that's on my list too. I'll watch SRK films, good or not so good films. Now, again, one thing, Zainu, you got to know about me: '90s Hindi cinema doesn't do it for me. And this reminded me of that. Now, there were things in this film I really liked, but some of the humor just doesn't work for me, and that's just. I'm sure at the time it works. I'm sure for Hindi family audiences it works. But when I look at like SRK's more recent films, seeing him like that in that type of role, not so much the second half of the film, but definitely the first half of the film, it's weird watching it because it's so different. But anyway, this was directed by Aziz Mirza. It stars Shah Rukh Khan, and I've seen, I don't know, out of the 350 films I've watched, I've probably seen 40 of his films. Pathan, Devdas, My Name is Khan, just to name a few. Juhi Chawla, who is in ISHQ in Dar. And I also think, excuse me, I also think I've seen her in a few things. I don't think she's ever looked more beautiful than I've seen her in this film. She was just beautiful. Johnny Lever, who was very funny, who was in Ahsoka and Badshah. Paresh Rawal, who I've seen in a lot of stuff, Baby, Garam Masala, Satya. He was, I think, one of the best actors in this film. I thought he was fantastic, amongst others. Now, this was a remake of the 1980s film Switching Channels, which starred Burt Reynolds, Kathleen Turner, and Christopher Reeve, I believe, which in itself was a remake of the classic Hollywood film, The Front Page, which is a fantastic movie. I also noticed, and I'm listening to the music, and I kept hearing this particular tune over and over again. And I go, no, that can't be what I think it is. And sure enough, I checked. It's a reoccurring theme from the title song of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. High, low, anywhere we go, our chitty chitty bang bang loves us too. Thank you, please. No applause, just money. And finally, the theme of this film, once you get past the juvenile humor, it's about India's unity as its strength. As the last half hour of the movie is all about that. And it definitely takes a tonal shift at certain points. In fact, more so. And one thing I've discovered in the 3 years that I've been watching these movies, they have these rapid tonal shifts that you don't see in Hollywood cinema. Not like this. This movie had that because it starts off as this goofy juvenile comedy, and then it turns into this almost melodramatic call for unity, like like two separate movies. That's what it felt like. Um, but the story is about a TV reporter played by Shah Rukh Khan, Ajay, who's in competition with a female TV broadcaster played by Juhi. Her name is Ria. And how they compete against each other. They don't like each other, but eventually they fall in love and work together. Wow. You didn't see that one coming. No way. And in the mix, there's now this is when it takes a tonal shift because the first, like, it opens up with this scene where there's a bomb in a building. Okay. Now, bombs in India aren't funny. At least I don't think they are. Not based on the movies I've seen. But he wants to get the story. So he climbs up this apartment building from the outside to film. He's got the camera while he's climbing to film the bomb diffusion. And that's a scene in the film where the guy's diffusing the bomb, and there's a comedy routine going on between the two. And of course, you knew exactly what was going to happen. They cut the wire, and they think it's diffused, and all of a sudden the timer starts going crazy. Now he's going to jump. But he gets the story, and he's this big hero. That's when he does this great song. We'll get into the music later. Some of the music I actually really liked, even though there was a lot of it. Um, and that is kind of his trajectory, right? Everybody loves him, and he does this thing where he not what does he do? He does this, not this. He does this. That's his thing, right? So now the movie introduces two politicians on opposite sides who are working against each other, and one of the politicians, I think it was his brother-in-law, gets assassinated. I mean, okay, that's what this. So he went from this goofy, funny, juvenile thing to Paresh Rawal's character walks up with a gun and shoots him 6 times. Now he gets arrested. Now the film becomes, why did this guy do it? And what was the motive behind it? So they're saying one thing. They're saying he's a terrorist, when in actuality he's out for revenge about what happened to his daughter. I think it was Kavita, if I remember right. Um, and once the truth is found out by the two reporters who are now working together, RJ and Rhea, other people want to keep it quiet because politics are involved. The station managers, their station managers, also originally want to exonerate this guy, but then gets involved with the politicians who are willing to pay him off by giving him a 24-hour news channel that they can own together. So now they're going to call him a terrorist, and he's going to get hung. But there is a recording, his confession, where he explains the story of Kavita and what happened and why he did what he did. Well, now the film becomes who's going to get the tape. And it then becomes this, they're going to steal it out of the station owner's house where he's got it locked away. And will they get it out to the public? So in the end, Shah Rukh Khan's character gets everybody in the community who wanted to see this guy hung and were celebrating it now realize he's not innocent, but he's not a terrorist. There was a reason why he did it, and in their minds, it's justified. He he gets them all together with Indian flags going to this prison where they're going to hang him to stop it. And that's, I will say, that's an amazing scene when all these people come walking, marching through the streets with a song playing. Again, I'll get to the songs later. But once that shift happened, it became a very different movie, and Khan's performance was very different, much more impassioned. I would say a little more. I don't want to say serious because that's not the right word. I don't even want to say grounded because this movie's not grounded at all, but a little less over the top. I'll give you an example. So what I'm talking about, the tonal shifts. There's a scene in the movie where Paresh escapes jail, and a gangster's son, Papu Jr., who's very funny, played by Johnny Lever, gets a hold of him. Now, Shah Rukh Khan's character, Ajay and Rhea, are going to go save him. How are they going to do that? They dress up as Asian news reporters. Now, I am not one to be politically correct, and I hate when movies do that. But I will say that it was a pretty stereotyped performance of two Asian people, where in a way that you would not make that today. But that's not even the worst part. They're in this, the gangster is in this like James Bond villain lair. Very science fictiony. In fact, the cell that Paresh's character is in, Mohan, looks like a rocket for absolutely no reason. So, and then he's got this funky gun, Papu Jr. It looks like a pirate gun, but it's red. And Shah Rukh Khan gets a hold of it, and they escape with Mohan and points it at him, and then closes the door. And Papu starts laughing, and then what are you laughing about? There's no bullets in the gun. And everyone's like, well, why didn't you stop him then? Why did you pretend? Why did you put your hands up? Stuff like that. It was just strange. Now there was the scene where he's trying to steal the tape, and it's Papu Jr. They get with him to steal this tape, and they intercut it with the song in this owner's mansion, with him trying to open up the safe with a giant hammer, a rocket launcher. Very strange. Okay, so in the end, he saves Mohan, and he ends up with Rhea, which no big surprise because they realize they love each other. That's the story. Now, look, the story, it's a remake. And if you ever saw the front page is a much better film. But the story's okay. I mean, it's been remade a lot. And it's not like they really improved upon it. So I gave the story a 4. It's all right, The performances, it's kind of tough to gauge the performances because I thought the second half of the film, the performances were much better than the first half of the film. But I will say, I think the best performance in this film was Raresh Parel's character, because there's some scenes there, 2 scenes in particular. One, when he's explaining what happened to his daughter and why he did what he did, but also he knows he's going to be hung. And he has a scene with his wife where he's trying to tell her, here's what you need to do when I'm gone, and please don't worry, don't be upset, don't cry. It's just it was probably one of the best things I've seen him do. Now I haven't seen, he isn't a lot, but he's usually a second banana or something. Oh my God was the only time I think I've seen him like in the lead of all the films I've seen. I thought he was excellent in this. Now Shah Rukh Khan I thought was really good the second half of the film, much more than the first half of the film. I just found it was too, and again, for me, it was just too over the top, too unbelievable. Second half, much more believable. Like he gets beat up by the cops, and he brings people together, and he makes this impassioned speech. So I thought he was, and she was also very funny. And then when she needed to get serious, she was. So the performances, I'm going to give the performances for the type of film it is. I'm going to give them a 7, which is probably higher than it should be. But I thought Paresh's performance really made this elevated everybody else. I really do. And he wasn't in it a ton, but when he was there, you felt it. So the music. Now, there's a lot of music in this. A lot. And the first song is kind of SRK's introduction. And it's a very Bollywood, bright colors. And he's dancing with a bunch of girls and it's all these different scenes. There's a cute number. Second number I really like because she also does a reprise of it, and it's called I Am the Best. And it's very catchy. It's a song I would definitely watch again because at the end of it, he does a little Elvis. And if anybody knows anything about me, I'm a big Elvis fan. Thank you. Thank you very much. But it's I Am the Best. Talk about a narcissistic song. But I really like that song. The third song, they're going to, Rhea and AJ are going for the same story. And all of a sudden, he's talking to her, kind of flirting with her. And all of a sudden cheerleaders show up during the number. And her part of the song is repeating no, no, no. A lot, 75% of the song, no, no, no. So it's kind of cute. Kind of cute. Fourth song after Rhea gets an interview, a big interview that Ajay was supposed to get, but she manipulated so he couldn't, and she reprises I Am the Best, and she's adorable. She is adorable. And she does a good job with that number. Fifth song after the killing, and it's Mob Rules, and it's Vance Mataram. And it's people getting, this is where it really took a turn. People getting shot, people getting burned alive, children crying, all these scenes of children crying while the carnage is going on. Stark turn and this music playing throughout that scene. It was brutal. Sixth song after Paresh Mohan tells the story of his daughter at her funeral. And you can see in that scene, Paresh has made the decision what he's going to do because no one's helping him. They explain that in a flashback. Nobody will help him, even though they know what happened. The guy he killed did something to his daughter that I can't say or YouTube will erase me, but you know what happened. The seventh song, they realize they're in love. And this is one that goes on a long way, a long time. And it's all these different settings, but there's one point, and it reminded me, I don't know if you've ever seen The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, but at the end of that movie, he's in the water, but he goes up these steps, and it looks like the sky, and he opens the door. That's when he says, goodbye, hello, whatever the line is. They kind of recreate that in this. It's a cute number. They look great together. At one point, look like they're on a satellite with the Earth behind them. The seventh song, no, that eighth song, they finally steal the tape. Now, while this tape is being stolen, they do this big, huge number in this mansion. It is a big number, and it's a fun number, a lot of dancing. So I like that song. And then finally, the ninth song, and this is the one where the theme comes in. Yes, the heart is Indian, as all these fellow Indians are heading towards the jail with their flags, this song is playing. And it's very powerful. I can only imagine what audience must have thought when they saw that. Again, so different from the first part of the movie. But I like that too. I thought it was really well done. So the music, I actually liked some of the numbers in this. I thought there were too many, but I did enjoy some of them. So I'm going to give the music a 7. My final verdict on this, it's a tough one because I absolutely like the second half far more than the first half. But I guess I will give this a 6. And again, Zainu, I just have to tell you, this era of Hindi filmmaking, not all the films, by the way, but some of them, they're tough for me. They're almost fantasy, or almost like a Hollywood musical of the 1930s and 40s, kind of like that too. Other than the dark turn in the last half of the movie. But that's what I thought about the film because in the beginning I was just like shaking my head, going, no, 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 no. But I ended up, to me, the second half bailed out the first half. So that's my thought on that. Now I am going to give you one related recommendation. Okay, the film I am going to recommend is a classic Hollywood film, and it is a remake of The Front Page. And the film is called His Girl Friday from 1940. It stars Cary Grant, Rosalind Russell, and it was directed by Howard Hawks. And so what they did was in this film, like they did in the SRK film, in the original Front Page, it's two male reporters. In this film, first time, because Front Page was made twice before this film. Rosalind Russell plays one of the other reporters, and ex-wife of Cary Grant's character. So that's a new dynamic in this. The other thing about this film, and this was what Howard Hawks is famous for, overlapping dialogue. You didn't do that in Hollywood, right? Separate tracks for the voices, just like Bollywood. Not in Howard Hawks movies. Everyone's talking over everybody, and it's rapid fire. And there are scenes that Cary Grant and Rosalind Russell going at it. It's fantastic. It's a very funny movie. It does have some serious overtones, similar to the one I just reviewed. But if you haven't seen it, take a look. And then if you like the style, there's some other Howard Hawks films you should look at, like The Thing from Another World, science fiction. But again, the overlapping dialogue, very realistic, because that's what people do. In real life, people don't talk, then stop, then talk, then stop. No, people talk over each other. They finish each other's sentences. So check out His Girl Friday if you haven't, okay? All right, that's it. That's my, you know what that is, right? That's my Shah Rukh Khan impression. That's my review of the film. Let me know what you think in the comment. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm wrong? It's okay, Zainu. It's okay. I'm going to watch Duplicate. I'm just telling you right now. And someone told me, don't watch it. But I said, if you recommend it, I'll watch it eventually. I've made that promise to you. So let me know what you think in the comment section. And do me a favor, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button. Very close to 3,000, okay? I'm pushing for that. But more importantly, share. The only way we can build this community if you guys share the content. All right. And I am very appreciative when you do. Okay, that's it. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with another movie review, a trailer reaction, or a song reaction. Thanks